Are you one of those people that after watching an old episode of Wheeler Dealers wondered what happened to that car after the programme? Well, if you are, you're in the right place. This time we're going to see if we can track down the 2002 SAAB 9.3 Turbo Convertible. And we're going to do our usual thing of having a quick review of what they did to the car in the programme, see how the value of that's changed since they sold it, and then see what we can find out about what happened to that car post-show. This programme first went out on the 3rd of May 2011, and the registration number we're looking for is VA02PTU. And just as an aside, this of course was around the time that SAAB ended sort of serious production, and the other thing is this was, I think, up to that point, the newest vehicle that Wheeler Dealers had taken on. I think it was one of each series they seemed to do a little bit of a cheaper refurb just to show that some of it was more affordable. Mike paid $2,400 for this car. He had to do a few jobs, or Ed had to do a few jobs. Needed a new turbo, coil pack and spark plugs. The ignition key barrel needed repair. Needed a few trim parts, and they got one of these dent master type guys in to sort out a few dings. And finally they added the steering rack brace kit, which was a new thing to me at the time, but apparently is an issue on these cars. I'm sure some of the SAAB experts will explain that more to us in the comments. Now, how did this do on the money side? Well, as I said, Mike paid $2,400 for this car. The parts and repairs cost $960, and they then sold it for £3,750, and that left them a profit of £390. So fast forward to 2025. That car, according to Practical Classics magazine valuation guide, in condition 1 is worth £2,400, which is exactly what Mike paid for it back in 2010-2011. So I think this is the very first time we've had a car that over the years since the programme has actually lost value, and this one's lost £1,350. So one of them's going to lose money at some point. Now, the bit you're really here for, you want to know what happened to VA02PTU after the programme. If we go over to my car check and have a quick look and see what that tells us, the immediate thing that caught my attention was it was marked as import-export, and I thought, oh, it's left the country. But actually, no, this one was an import, but it was an import, it appears, when it was new. So I guess back at that time it could have been a parallel import. Again, this was the end of when SAAB were ending production, so that may have been a factor. Don't know. If we go over to the MOT history, this always gives us a great heartbeat of a car, I think. And this one, I'm imagining, because the programme going out in May 2011, the work would have been done on the car probably late 2010, possibly into early 2011. Now, if we look at MOT history, it's got something a little bit odd. It had an MOT in March 2011 at 88,500 miles, which it passed quite easily. And then it had one in April 11, just a month later, and it only done 127 miles, but oddly enough, it actually failed on a tyre and issues with the headlamps, which a bit strange, but anyway, off it goes. It then seems to work hard for the next couple of years, until 2012, it done 17,000 miles, and then it seemed to come off the road, but when it reappeared in 2014 it had done 20,000 miles. So this one's obviously been worked quite hard post-programme. And then if you look down the MOT history, it's nothing dramatic. MOTs in 14, 15, 16, odd fail, usually passed afterwards. In 16, the October fail didn't get represented until the following April, but again it went through 2018, 2019, and then it had a change of keeper in July 2019. So that was probably maybe why I had the MOT in the May. It was being put on the market. We then had MOT in 2020, 21, and then again we get another change of ownership in October 21, and then October 22 it has an MOT. That one expires, and that point it then goes quiet, but not totally. August 24, so near on a year ago, it reappeared for an MOT test, but unfortunately failed quite badly, and then it goes quiet after that. If you look at the MOT failure, there is an awful lot of corrosion. And by this point, the car has done 156,000 miles. So you could probably be honest and think this is sort of getting towards the end of its life. And the other interesting thing is I did an awful lot of searching through my usual sources, through Facebook groups, through internet forums, old posts on things like Pistonhead. This car's vanished. Absolute zero on the radar. I've never known one so quiet. And I think the thing with cars like this Saab, a bit like the P38 Range Rover we did a little while, these are, and don't take offence Saab owners, more run-of-the-mill cars. And I think they tend to lose that wheeler dealers connection sometimes after the program, because they just go back into the car pool and it gets forgotten what their connection was. So I think that's why sometimes these type of cars are difficult to track down. However, just before I recorded this, I always do a final check to make sure nothing's changed. And look at this. After that horrendous fail last year, 3rd of July, just over a week ago, it's been put in for an MOT and it's passed. No advisories. It's back, it's alive. I still can't find anything more on it, any connection to a current owner. So, of course, as ever, if you know anything, please do let us know. But I'm really impressed that this car, which was possibly at the time not overly sought after model, has survived 14 years after the program. And it's still out there and it's just been freshly MOT'd. So it might even be coming to the market. So if you see it for sale, please do let us know. I hope you enjoyed that. Not one of our most exciting searches, but at least we know it's still alive. And if you have, please do consider giving that subscribe button a little tickle for us. I'll catch you next time.